No, the cover of
The first one?
the first, yeah. So it's like the one with so it's your face, and it's the girl's hand,
Yeah.
but it's like transparent.
Yeah.
So like, what was the whole?
It was like an illusion I was trying to create. So like there's two pictures. In the first one, it's kind of like sad, like it's kind of like
So you're happy, and then you're.
yeah, it's like the happy. You know how like they have that theater thing,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this happy and like the sad one.
Uh-huh.
So it's just kind of like putting those together, like creating an illusion. Because like throughout my project starts out with me like telling my story about how like just like how I was being like vulnerability and like being open and like or like the shit like how do I put it? It was just kind of like. So if there was a graph, it would just go like from like down like all the way up, right? So it started out like we're telling a story how like I needed validation and I was seeking a lot from love at the time, like because I started with the song called Melrose Lake, which is like a place where like I felt where like me and like someone I was with like at a certain point in my life, like it's like a happy place that we wanted to go to. Like it was this hypothetical like happy place that like we wanted to go to, but in reality we never really got there because like we just had so many differences as people and like we weren't able to keep up with each other. So we kind of like just like fell apart. But I still went to that place but I just went by myself. And I was just like it was just like starting out like really really sad and like really really like longing for like that love again in that happy place. So that was what Melrose Lake was about. And then the second song I did was Mind Don't Matter. And Mind Don't Matter is basically just talking about just like being all up in your head and just like being like out of focus, just trying to figure out what you want to do, like how you want to move on from like this happy place that like I had started, like which was Melrose Lake. And then after that I went into I forget the track list. Hey, let me check this shit. Give me 1 second. Yeah, after that I went to Blues Interlude, and Blues Interlude was just basically like a cry for help, basically. Like it's just like a minute of me just kind of like basking in the sounds we were creating, and it's just like humming and all of that. And then I went into Season's Reason, and Season's Reason was like a real cry for help. So it's just like me saying the same things like over and over again. And I feel like Season's Reason in this project was the one song that like people were like kind of confused about, because like I kept on saying like the same things like over and over again, and people were like, why is he saying, because it was like, come hear my heart, come hear my heart, come hear my heart. I kept on saying that throughout the whole like most of the time throughout the whole like 2 minutes something seconds. And it's like, damn, like this beat, people are like, this beat is so hard, like you could have did more with it. But I'm like, this is how I was feeling at the time. Yeah. I needed to, like, this was like a cry for help, and I needed to put this out. After Season's Reason, went to Ode to Audio. Ode to Audio is kind of like taking all that power back and being like, you know what, like, I wasn't the only one wrong in this situation. Like, you had some faults in it too. And like, you fucked up too. So now, like, I'm going to be better for me. And like Change Me is kind of like understanding. Change Me was kind of like understanding everything that had happened, and then Back When was just like reminiscing on what happened and like moved on from it fully. So like from the beginning to the end, you see how it's like dark, but it starts getting lighter, and that was what I wanted to like show in that one picture. Like shit, like it's like me like being like just kind of like blank faced, and like the second picture is me like really like happier, like in a more lighter state. So that was like the whole point of that illusion.
That's the whole thing.
Created. Yeah.
Because I mean, from.
But what did you see? The thing is, people can interpret it differently.
So what I kind of what I seen out of the cover when I first saw it. I thought it had something to do with sexuality.
Really? That's interesting. I want to.
And it's like because you have your face, but it's a girl's hand caressing like. I thought it was like you going like this.
Oh,
it's
you
a
thought?
girl's hand going like this.
Yeah.
So I was like, does that have something to do with sexuality or, like just who you are, like who you feel like you are? That's what the photo makes it seem like. It makes it seem like who do you feel like you are? Because it's transparent. And it's like your face is in both. So I thought like your face was in both, but like a girl's hand was caressing your face, and then your hand was caressing your face. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
those are both the girls' hands.
Yeah, those are both the girls' hands. I didn't see that.
Nah, I don't. I mean, I'm still gonna like touch on like a lot of things. Like as like I keep putting music out. I feel like my next project is gonna like touch on like a lot more things. For the most part, I feel like whatchamacallit, like in this one I was just basically talking about like my journey and stuff. But I don't know. Like honestly, like I'm just gonna like cause I've started building up for my next project, but I haven't like actually started writing. So like I don't know what, like I'm not really sure what it's gonna be about. I still need to like really think, like streamline like what I want to like talk about. But like that's interesting that like you got like sexuality from that. Like I feel like people interpreted it like differently, and that's cool too. Like
that's cool too.
like no, that's dope. Like that it intrigues me, honestly. Like it intrigues me because like.
I think some people see it like that. Some people could have seen it like that. Because
people see things differently, and like I definitely like I love when like my work is like open to interpretation. Yeah.
That's good. So you were talking about one of your songs, Melrose Lake, and you said that you went back to the lake that you used to go to with your significant other. This is something we didn't touch on. We didn't touch on like love, and you know what I'm saying? Cause
here we go.
Yeah, because that shit was funny because I've done that shit before, and I don't know what the fuck I was searching for, but I did it like for instance, me and my ex, we had somewhere that we used to go, like a restaurant we used to go to. And I went back, like, by myself, and just to get some food, but, like, just to relive the memory. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's your ex. Sometimes this shit, like, it's not... I don't know, because it's like, what are we searching for? Like, what are you searching for? But at the same
time, if that's the way you want to handle it, and that's the way you want to like cope with it. Like I feel like that's not a bad thing, like at all.
No,
that's just your personal way of like dealing with it.
But it wasn't me dealing with it. It was me reliving. Because I can say, and I've been saying this, but because a lot of people, and it kind of fucks up my situations with other women because the fact that I was with a girl for 3 years and all of that experience that I got from that, I'm taking it on, you know what I'm saying? So, like, every time somebody asks me, like, oh, what are you like in a relationship or some shit like that, like, something about your past relationship, I'm only talking about that one. I'm not talking about no other one. So they get upset because it's like...
You have so much history.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
I learned too much. So, I don't know, though, but that shit is weird. Like,
my thing, love stresses me out. And the reason why I say that is because I've been single for the past 3-4 years.
Damn.
At this point. Yeah, I
you've been
single. The thing is I'm a very I would like to say I'm like a hopeless romantic, but at the same time I'm also very logical, and this is going back to being a Capricorn. Like I told you, I'm a very, very calculated person. So like when I think about stuff and I'm like, is this what I want to Netflix and chill with someone. Yes, I want to cuddle, I want to do all this relationship cute shit. But it's like ideally I still have my goals and I still have all this stuff that I want to do. So I know I'm so calculated. So I'm just like,
it's not. I mean, yeah. I feel definitely.
But here's the thing: for someone to come into my life, and for me to be able to leave my I have to really, really fuck with you for me to be able to forget all I'm doing and kind of like, you know, make that time for you, you know, come together or whatever. And I feel like that's like I've definitely like struggled with that because like I've dealt with people, like I've been on dates and stuff like that, and it's just kind of like people, like I feel like people, like energies transfer, and I don't need that energy. I'm trying to like keep working, like keep doing what I'm doing. I don't need anybody like coming into my life for 2.5 seconds and like knocking. What happened?
Nah, you're perfect for that. For the simple fact that I have a problem with like letting the energy come in instead of being like, nah, I can't do this right now. I got shit to work on. Like, I let that shit happen because I'm lonely. So I do that. I do that because like this year, 2019, man, holy shit. I've dealt with too much, like, so much different energies, like, so many people.
That can fuck you up.
And it's like, but then I look back and I'm like, bro, what the fuck did I really do? Like, what I do this year? But it was only because, this year was just like a break year for me. But I literally was just dealing with people and just dealing with it. Shit that I didn't even have to deal with. And shit that I just put myself in a certain position and it was like, all right, I'm here now. And then I just moved on from that. But I learned that I'm selfish. Like I'm very, very selfish.
You have to be, because no one's gonna take care of you the way you're gonna take care of you.
And that's another thing. Like that's cool. In my last relationship, I wasn't so selfish. So like everything that when I was in my last relationship, everything that I did was for her. Like everything. Like you know, when niggas be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, this is for us, blah, blah. I did that shit way too much. Like, I did it way too much, and I feel like I wasn't getting anything back from that. I wasn't growing from that.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't doing anything for myself, so that just stunted my growth. And
that's so true. That's actually so true.
So when we like split apart, it was like I was left on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere with no cars passing by. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck am I about to do? Like I'm on this road by myself, and that's how I gained selfishness. So now I'm in a state where it's like I'm thinking about myself. Yeah, and I've been like that this whole entire year, and like. People get upset about that because they're like, oh. It's like,
but the fine line, what I've realized, like, it's okay to think about yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody else will think about you but yourself. But at the same time, what I've learned and like what I'm learning now, like moving forward and like potentially getting in a relationship with someone, is you have to be able to also put yourself in other people's shoes. Yeah. I feel like that's something I never really practiced in the past. Like, it was mostly just kind of like me. Like, because I'm like, I have a place in my head I'm trying to go. I don't need anybody throwing me off of that path. Right. And like, you know, like that was just like my idea. And like now, like for me, like going on into 2020, it's just kind of like, I need to be like, oh, you know what? Like, how would she feel if I did this? Like, how would I feel if I was in her shoes and I did this to her? Or how would he feel if I was in his shoes and I did this to him? Like, how would he like kind of like deal with that? And like, I don't like that kind of like just helped me kind of navigate through things. Because then I'm a lot more like empathetic, like towards like certain emotions, and like I'm able to like feel what like another person is feeling. So I feel like that then opens your mind to like being able to actively be with someone. Yeah. You know? But I feel like generally in a relationship, like both both people should be growing.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
And no. For me, that shit was not the move. And I realized that once it ended, I was like, I wasted so much time. Like, it's actually, I didn't waste time.
Yeah, because
it was beautiful
learned.
time spent because I learned like so many lessons throughout that time. But I wasted like time where I could have been doing shit for me and building my craft up, my mentality. You know what I'm saying? But it was just I became dependent on a relationship. So this year being my first single year, like of me I realized how selfish I am. I realized how selfish I could actually be.
Yeah.
And I fuck with it, but I don't because like it hurts other people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's time for me to try to balance where I could depend on a relationship, depend on myself, and you know what I'm saying,
still grow.
You know what I'm saying?
Done. Yeah.
So
that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say just like start by just kind of like examining the way you the way you express like certain emotions and just putting yourself in their shoes. Like, okay, so how would I receive this if I was on their end and I was acting this certain way? I feel like that's like the first step to kind of like come breaking out of that selfish, shell. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, being a creator, oh yes, this is what I wanted to talk about. Dating or being a creative and dating a non-creative. And dating a non-creative. Dating a non-creative.
Dating another one is hard too.
Dating another one is hard, but we can get to that.
We can get to that shit.
But dating a non-creative. So I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say that this summer I was with my significant other and we were pretty much like living together. Like kind of like we weren't like officially dating. That's why I say I've been single, but like I've definitely had people in my life where like we've like been building up to something. And like so we spent a lot of time together, basically like, oh, you come stay at my crib, I come stay at your crib. And one day, like, cause this person, right? This person works a corporate, like a corporate. So at the time, it was like an internship, right? So it was like a corporate internship, and it's just like, you wear your little suit, your little tie, and you're getting on your little Uber to go to fucking Capitol Hill, and so they're doing that, right? Going to Capitol Hill, doing the internship, and me, the artist, sitting in bed, yes, bro. Trying to figure out how I'm about to make breakfast. I'm trying to like figure out what outfit I'm about to stunt during the day. My God. Going to the fucking farmer's market. I'm joking, not the farmer's market.
That is literally,
but literally,
bro.
But literally sitting in bed, trying to figure out, what am I gonna do? How am I about to get the studio session? How am I gonna find inspiration? How am I gonna walk? And this person said to me, you don't really do shit, right? No. Actually, they're like, what do you even do? That was the question. What do you even do? Like, you just sit around, like you just sit around in bed all day, and that's when it hit me. That's when it hit me that I needed to pack my shit and get the fuck. I needed to pack my shit and get the fuck, and obviously that did not last. like over a month after that shit happened. Oh shit! Like literally,
I swear to God.
I tweeted about this too. I said, and I quote, if you're creative and you're with a non-creative, save yourself the emotional turmoil and get the fuck. Because like, I promise you, you're wasting your time. I literally promise you.
That is literally.
I literally promise you. How many creatives have you seen that have dated non-creatives and it worked out? And it's worked.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I literally don't know.
It's the funniest shit in the world because that is the most relatable thing. Dog, what? Oh my God.
Like what? Like name one couple that we've ever known in time.
Yeah, so it's more so. So you could say dating a non-creative when you're an unstable creative. Because if you're a stable creative, it's gonna work. But if you're not,
but as a creative, you can't always be stable.
Yes, so
that's
right,
not realistic.
Yes, but it's so people who are creatives, right? Mm-hmm. Like us, mm-hmm. right? We're kind of just starting out in this journey of mm-hmm. creating, you know what I'm saying, consistently. Mm-hmm. But someone who isn't, they're not going to understand that the shit that I go through, like mm-hmm. my days don't consist of a schedule. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have a schedule. Mm-hmm. I text niggas, you know what I'm saying, see where niggas at, see what niggas trying to link. Mm-hmm. And they, you know what I'm saying, you go to 9 to 5. You wake up 8 o'clock, go to work 9, you come back home 5. You're on that constant, you know what I'm saying, consistent thing. Me, it's either I find this job, you know what I'm saying, I gotta go out all day, I come back home, and then I stay in the house for weeks at a time trying to find the next thing to do. But that's unstable. The stable creative is the person that
consistent
has that consistent you know what I'm saying, job. They got a schedule filled out, the whole month filled out, weeks at a time, where like days at a time where they're shooting or you know, making music, or you know what I'm saying, going to shows, and you know what I'm saying, having, that's the stable creative. But I don't that personally
I'm creative though. Like, is there actually a stable creative?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like even if like you have like, even if you're like fucking who's like a Virgil, like I feel like Virgil still stays at home half the time still.
But it's he's accumulating. So honestly, like if I'm the unstable creative where days happen like this, where I have to wake up if I'm not working, you know what I'm saying, my part-time job, I'm trying to find out who wants to shoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm trying to find it out. Whereas if I was just more stable, I would have shoots lined up throughout the week. Like, so I have a day where it's a free day, and then I'll start planning my weeks out. Yeah. Where it's like, all right, I gotta get a shoot here, gotta do something here, you know what I'm saying? Gotta work on the magazine today or whatever. And I'm getting paid for that. That's like, it's all about how much you're making. Yeah. So being the stable creative, it's all about what you're bringing to the table. Yeah. So when you were, you know what I'm saying, in the bed or whatever, and they were going on their, you know what I'm saying, doing their job or whatever, that was all about, and they said that, oh, it's like, oh, you ain't gonna get up, blah blah. It's like, it's because they see that you're not bringing anything in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's that's the only reason. Yeah. But that shit, that it lets you look at something different, because it's like, okay, since they were like that, like I need to get my shit together. But you shouldn't look at it like I need to get my shit together. You should just look at it like I just gotta, you know what I'm saying, get on that money train. Yeah. That's all it's about. Yeah. Like that. At the end of the day,
it's all about money.
That's all it's about. Like I can do this shit every single day, right? And make money for it, and go in the house. They wouldn't have anything to say to me. But if I'm not doing any of that, and I'm doing the same thing every single, and no money is being made out of it, then it's a problem. It's a big problem. So that's the difference. But being in a relationship with a non-creative, it's cool. I feel like it's less stress on, especially someone like myself who, because I don't like opinions. I hate opinions. So if I'm in a relationship with someone, even I like opinions, but I like opinions from people who I want opinions from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I was with a girl and she had a regular 9 to 5, she was like, let's say she was like a lawyer or something, or she was like doing something, and she doesn't follow art, but she just likes me for me because I'm just who I am, and I'm just creating shit. I'm not gonna ask her like, oh, what do you think about this? Because she has no idea how to think. I mean, she can give me like a little 2 cents, like I like that, but she's gonna like everything I do because she likes me. Yeah. So that's kind of like, but that, well, I can, oh fuck, because I can say that also gets old because
It will get old.
You
would eventually want them to be on the same.
Yeah, I would want them to be on the same page as I am. Yeah. But
I couldn't do it. I'm gonna be honest. I can't do it. I feel like I'm just gonna be very insecure. Yeah. Well, like I don't think I'm gonna be insecure because like eventually like you have to like fight through it, but I feel like you also don't have to. Mm-hmm. Like why do it if you don't have to? You know. Yeah. Like I don't have to really explain my means of like getting inspiration and like my process to you for you to understand that like I'm not gonna be up actively doing shit all the time. So like I don't know. It's interesting. Like I feel like I'd rather be with someone who I can get like constructive criticism for, like someone who's like on the same wavelength to a certain level. I mean, you don't have to be doing the exact same thing, but you just having an open mind to creativity, which I don't feel like everybody has or everybody's interested in.
And that's actually the plus side about being in a relationship with a creator. Because in my situation, I was in a relationship with a creative, and I got insecure because she was like, and I was like, so that's another thing that kind of will fuck a creative up is if you are jealous of your significant other, which was definitely me. Like, and I was like upset at the fact that I was being jealous. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why am I jealous of the girl that I'm with? I'm with her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like, she was just winning, and I was just like constantly like losing. But I was putting that on myself. I wasn't working to win. I wasn't working to win. Yeah. I was literally just happy with whatever she wanted to do and happy with what she was doing, and I just let that shit hold me back. So that's fucked up. That's the fucked up part about dating a creative. Being with a creative, yeah, but it's a you know what I'm saying, being with a creative is, I would say, it's good. I would say it's a good thing. It'll help you grow as a creative, you know what I'm saying? But you have to manage it in the way where you will grow. Yeah. So that's it. But other than that, inspiration, you know what I'm saying? I realized I pull inspiration from myself and my past and my childhood. That's how I get inspired. I don't get inspired by unless the girl that I'm with is like I don't know. No, yeah, I get inspired by like just like my emotions and just being in tune with them, and like I feel like the reason why I even started making music in the first place was like getting my emotions out in ways that I didn't feel like I could. Yeah, because you're a singer, so that's like how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You talk your shit. You can write whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, but it's all about talking your shit. Yeah, no. Relationships are stressful. I'm not gonna lie. That's how R&B artists are fueled off of. Like creativity is from relationships and from love, from like their everyday life. Yeah, they can just talk about they can talk about how they stubbed their toe, and fucked their whole day up, and that could be you know what I'm saying, a song. Yeah, that's cool. Sometimes I try to move like I'm an artist, like a R&B artist or a hip hop artist or whatever. I tap into both of those in photography. I feel like every person who either paints or creates photography, just creates pictures. I feel like they should move like that because, say, like because I move like I'm an R&B or a hip hop, you know what I'm saying, or making music. Like if I take a picture, like that picture would have a whole album. Yeah. Like just in that picture would make a whole album. And that's my album. And my rollout is an album rollout. Like it's a video. It's whatever goes with it. Like that's you know what I'm saying? And then that sits. That sits on the shelf for a little bit, and then I create another thing, another project, and then it just keeps going. And that's what I like. That's actually what keeps me going as a creative, is the fact that I move, like, I make music.
Yeah, that's dope, because I feel like you're telling your story, and like it's just like a lot more personal to you, and you're not just like putting out pictures just for aesthetics.
No, fuck that. Did that before, never again. Yeah. There's no happiness in that. It's another thing we talk about.
What?
Finding happiness in what you do.
This happiness is not a thing. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But, well, I feel like you should already be happy, like, to go into like any type of like creative field.
But with all the politics that goes into it, and it becoming a job, how do you find your happiness?
Going back to the root of why I'm doing it in the first place, honestly. Like, we've been through so much shit. I've been scammed mercilessly. I've been scammed. I've been taken advantage of. I've been bamboozled. And all that shit could have thrown me off. Like, I've had a long ass year, bro. I've had a long ass year, and like the reason why I'm still pushing is because, one, going back to the root of why I started in the first place, I signed up for it, you know, and I'm happy doing it, and I still want that happiness for myself.
Yeah.
So that's why too. There's people out there who are supporting me now. When I first started, people weren't really like. I mean, people were supportive actually, but it was like supportive, like, okay, like, we know you as a person. It wasn't really supportive in my work. So after it had come out, it was like, okay, so we fuck with this, so we're listening now. Okay. So feeding those people who are supporting me also like keeps me going, motivated, happy to like continue. And yeah, those two things, but mostly, but like I don't even care about, like, as much as I fuck with people supporting me and stuff, that's still not like, that doesn't necessarily bring me happiness. Like, what brings me happiness is like the reason why I started doing it in the first place, which is like expressing my emotions in ways that, like, you know, creative ways and stuff.
So so with that being said, like, is there a certain legacy that you want to leave with music?
The legacy I want to leave is at the end of the day, I want my name to be like stamped on like historic places. Like, I want to be able to perform my music at historic places that, like, through time, like, it would like resonate with like a whole bunch of people, and like time, like generations, like it's gonna be there. Okay, this dude did this and he did this and he did that. Like, having my name stamped in real time, in like historic time, like that's what I want. And like being able to like share stuff that like I come up with, and seeing the amount of people, like, and like for it to be like relatable to like people, and then bringing all those people together like in those like spaces, like that's like ideally what I'm trying to like achieve. And I feel like through time, like that would still stick. Like I'm not really trying to just make music that's just gonna like, after like a certain period of time everyone's forgotten about it. It's like nobody really cares what this dude is. Like, I feel like there's people who have literally put their name in time, and through the years people are still gonna be able to remember them and be like, oh, they had this classic project, telling their kids, oh, I remember seeing them at this place, or I remember when they did this, like this visuals, like that's what ultimately I want for myself. Like creating timeless like work, honestly.